Smart dimensions of human-object relations. Entanglements in the age of digitalization and artificial intelligence. This video investigates the evolving dynamics of human-object relationships within the context of digitalization and artificial intelligence, AI, particularly being exemplified through virtual museums and digital artistic practices. Over recent decades, there has been widespread recognition in the social sciences and humanities of a return to things, in contrast to the earlier focus on representation, and in contrast to the long scholarly tradition that separated subject from object, mind from matter. Numerous different perspectives, from actor network theory, ANT, to anthropological accounts of materiality and the buildup of stuff in our contemporary lives to discussions of the agency, vibrancy, and vitality of mute things, have converged on some version of the idea that subject and object, mind and matter, human and thing, co-constitute each other. Ant conducts a semiotics of materiality, taking the semiotic focus on relationality and applying it to all materials, producing relational materiality. Latour presents Ant as a framework for understanding how the social world is constructed through networks of heterogeneous actors. He introduces the concept of actants, which refers to any entity that can act and influence the network. Actants can include humans, objects, technologies, institutions, and even ideas. Ant views these actants as equal participants in the construction of social reality, emphasizing the agency of non-human entities. With the rise of technological artifacts like artificial intelligence and the widespread use of digital tools, I believe this framework becomes clearer to observe with each passing day. The understanding of agency in mute objects has broadened as objects become smart, with the advent of recent technologies such as machine learning, AI algorithms, and IoT, Internet of Things. Along with tools only existing in virtual space, daily tangible objects are commonly augmented with smart technologies and digital interfaces which readily display agency of objects and perpetuate their relationality. These technological actants influence how information is processed, decisions are made, and social interactions occur. It can be simply exemplified by Facebook's newsfeed algorithm shaping public opinion by prioritizing certain news stories, advertisements, or posts based on user behavior. Netflix's content recommendation shaping cultural trends and media habits. YouTube's content moderation shaping the content landscape by determining what is acceptable, influencing both content creators' behavior and users' experiences, implicating freedom of expression and the dissemination of information. Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant performing tasks and controlling home devices, affecting daily routines and executive functions, or any product recommendation engine shapes consumer behavior and purchasing decisions, driving sales, influencing market trends, and personalizing the shopping experience. The examples can get more advanced, like IBM Watson for oncology assisting doctors in diagnosing cancer and recommending treatment options, a non-human medical expert in the decision-making process, or Tesla's autopilot system affecting something vital as driving habits, traffic patterns, and road safety. Even now, I'm making this video using digital editing tools enhanced with machine learning, AI-generated visuals, and voice which affects how I convey the information, interpretation of the message, my creativity, and decision-making. These technologies, through their material and algorithmic presence, become integral to everyday life, embodying the cyborg nature of contemporary existence as described by Peterson, while also illustrating the distributed agency and networked relationship central to ANT. In Søren Peterson's article, Mundane Cyborg Practice, Material Aspects of Broadband Internet Use, the concept of the mundane cyborg illustrates how these everyday interactions with technology integrate human and non-human elements, forming a blended existence. This idea aligns well with actor network theory, ANT, outlined by Bruno Latour, particularly regarding the roles of actants and their influence in networks, as Peterson's exploration of broadband internet use shows how algorithms shape users' information landscapes and continuously adapt to users' preferences. Latour also discusses the concept of immutable mobiles, which are representations or symbols that facilitate the translation and negotiation of meanings within networks. These entities retain their form and function, enabling the dissemination of knowledge and maintaining coherence across various settings. AI systems mediate interactions between users and technology, translating user inputs into outputs based on algorithms. Large datasets used in AI training are contemporary examples of immutable mobiles. They are collected, processed, and then utilized across different AI applications, while maintaining their consistency. Also, APIs, application programming interfaces, act as immutable mobiles by providing a stable, consistent means of interaction across diverse platforms, allowing different software systems to communicate with each other. Adam Matthews contributes to this discussion by integrating ANT with post-digital and post-phenomenology perspectives. This integration shows how ANT can be applied in contexts where the digital and non-digital are deeply intertwined, providing a more nuanced understanding of technology's role in social networks. Post-digital and post-phenomenology add dimensions to ANT by emphasizing how digital technologies become inseparable from human practices and experiences. This highlights how ANT can adapt to study contemporary issues where technology is ubiquitous. He also examines how digital technologies mediate human experiences and shape social practices, emphasizing the distributed agency and relational dynamics inherent in human-object interactions. Beyond all of these, one of the most popular topics in the field of artificial intelligence and digital tools is art production. First, let's see how we can situate artistic production in general with actor network theory. Actants in art and networked creation. In the context of artwork, actants can include not only artists and viewers but also materials, techniques, institutions, technologies, and socio-cultural contexts. Art production can be seen as a networked process involving multiple actants that come together in specific configurations, having a distributed nature of agency. Agency of materials and technologies. ANT highlights the agency of non-human actants, such as materials and technologies, in shaping the production and meaning of art. The choice of medium or the affordances of a particular tool can influence artistic decisions and outcomes. Translation and mediation. Art production involves the translation of ideas, intentions, and materials across various actors and contexts. This process of translation and mediation contributes to the stabilization or destabilization of networks, affecting the production and reception of artworks. Networked reception. The reception of artworks is also a networked process involving various actants, including viewers, critics, curators, institutions, and cultural discourses. The meaning and interpretation of artworks are not fixed but emerge through the interactions and negotiations within these networks. With the introduction of digital tools and AI, we can see the increasing validity of each of these key concepts. Actants, networked creation, and agency of technologies. For artworks that are created with digital tools or AI-driven, actants include not only artists and viewers but also algorithms, software, hardware, datasets, digital platforms, and techno-cultural contexts. I believe these new actants possess greater agency than traditional artistic tools due to their interactivity, adaptability, and complex integration with other actants. For instance, text-to-visual or visual-to-visual AI tools produce artwork shaped by prompts from the artist and the visual datasets that the algorithm trained with, but the outcome is determined by a good many factors affecting each other, such as the variety of the sources of the databases, tendencies of the algorithms as the reflection of society, the influence of digital culture on the tools, favored styles of compositions, capabilities of the softwares, and even artist's construction of prompt according to the tool and the response. It's a constant dialogue between the tool and the artist, which has become more dominated by the tool recently, shifting the meaning of the medium is the message. This can be also an example of networked creation, relational and distributed agency, since AI tools used for creation, the data feeding the algorithms, the platforms for distribution, and the audience engaging with the art act as part of the network. Supposing I want to make a portrait of Bruno Latour with AI, the outcome will be significantly different whether I use Midjourney, DALL-E, now ChatGPT 4o, or Stable Diffusion, since they have certain dominant styles based on their algorithms. Midjourney is known to be better at generating realistic and detailed portraits, while DALL-E can be more creative at the composition of the portrait. And Stable Diffusion is better for high-resolution and stylized portraits. Further, I have to adjust my prompt depending on the tool I picked, since they have different captures of the text and the style I want to go for, as they would generate in a default style they picked for portraits if I don't specify. If I go with Midjourney, I know that it tends to use a particular color theme and retrofuturistic style due to its dataset. Further, it will reflect the bias of attractiveness of media culture, and will only generate attractive portraits if I don't particularly prompt. Ugly or unattractive. If I use Stable Diffusion, I will see the effect of the current digital culture on the outcome more intensely, which is more likely to be stylized closer to anime figures or concept art. Above all, I may not be able to generate Bruno Latour if the tool I use doesn't have any visuals of him in their database. Moreover, the results I have will differ with each try because of randomization for every second, and after some time because of moderation of tools replying to users' demands and the culture. As we can understand from this process, these tools have great agency, shaping the whole dynamic of artistic production with active direction and reciprocity. Further, I had a great chance to observe other artists producing in digital mediums, as I have been giving XR. Consultancy. The most prominent tendency I observed was the misleading eagerness of the artists to use a digital tool without understanding their capacities, the values they add to the artwork, and their utilization to create meaning. Translation and mediation. Art production involving AI entails the translation of artistic ideas into algorithmic processes and digital outputs. This involves mediation by the AI, where human intentions are translated into machine-readable instructions. For instance, an artist's conceptual design translated into an AI model's output, such as using an AI to transform a sketch into a fully realized digital painting, involves multiple layers of translation and mediation. Here are some pages from the art book Dreams of Dreams that I recently designed to exemplify this translation. In this page, I gave my text to AI to make it from as coding scripts, which essentially is the outcome of an algorithm imitating another algorithm and generating a message in a fake but persistent language. Also, here is the outcome of my dialogue with several AI tools, and in fact making them talk to each other. Here I asked ChatGPT, if AI could dream, what kind of archetypes would it see? And I gave the results, the list of archetypes, to Midjourney to generate a tarot card series of these archetypes. Both processes involve translation and mediation. Networked reception. The reception of AI-generated artworks involves various actants, including viewers, critics, digital platforms, curators, and cultural discourses. The meaning and interpretation of such artworks emerge from interactions within these networks. For example, AI-generated art exhibited on digital platforms like DeviantArt or ArtStation, where feedback from viewers and critics shapes its reception and perceived value. The role of social media algorithms in promoting or demoting artworks also influences their reception. Moreover, the impact of AI and digital tools on the art industry is not limited to the production process. It also changes the consumption and perception of art in terms of ANT. In the context of virtual museums and digital extensions of traditional museums, actants include not only curators, artists, and viewers, but also digital platforms, software, virtual reality, VR tools, metadata, and the internet infrastructure, which they all collaborate as parts of the network. In terms of agency, we may notice virtual museums leveraging these technologies to create immersive and interactive experiences. The use of 3D scanning and modeling to create digital replicas of artifacts, the choice of a VR platform to host the exhibit, and the design of interactive features all influence how the art is experienced. The reception of artworks in virtual museums involves online reviews, social media interactions, virtual guided tours, and user feedback, all contributing to how the virtual exhibits are perceived and valued. Here are some examples of UX/UI I've done for the virtual museum experience of British Council Collection Museum Without Walls 2.0 project. This virtual museum offers immersive and interactive experiences such as gathering rooms where the audience can meet up and explore the collection while communicating, personal collection rooms where user can create their own selection and exhibit it to other viewers, besides features like AI breeding allowing the user interact with the artworks in their unique way, and AR enhancements that allow the user to see the artwork's reflection on physical space. The collection is displayed in a network that the audience can navigate through their particular interests intuitively while giving a sense of direction. As we examine the heightened agency of objects, we see an increasing focus on relationality and dispersed networks rather than the fixed dualism of humans and things. This challenge to the idea of fixed essences can be supported with Donna Haraway's notion of cyborg, which blurs the boundaries between human and non-human, machine, nature, and culture, moreover accentuating the fluid and hybrid nature of human-object interactions in an era defined by technological advancement. Also, it aligns with Peterson's exploration of broadband internet use, showing how these algorithms shape users' information landscapes, similar to how cyborg practices incorporate technology into daily activities, influencing social interactions and perceptions. Haraway introduces the concept of the cyborg, a hybrid entity embodying the fusion of organic and artificial components. Her ideas inform contemporary discussions on human-object relations, particularly in digital contexts, by emphasizing the interconnectedness and hybridity of technological and human experiences. Her emphasis on technology as an extension of our bodies and capabilities, thus creating hybrid entities, informs the discussion on the evolving dynamics of agency and relationality. This idea is particularly relevant when considering smart objects, which often function as extensions of our bodies and capabilities. These objects, embedded with sensors and connected to the internet, exhibit a form of agency that blurs the lines between human and non-human. As a result, our interactions with these objects become more fluid and hybridized, reflecting the interconnectedness of technological and human experiences. Smart objects with IoT are not merely tools but active participants in our routines, capable of influencing and being influenced by our actions. This reciprocal relationship challenges the notion of fixed essences, emphasizing instead the dynamic and relational nature of modern technology. Furthermore, the cyborg is imagined to be equipped with enhanced abilities and cognition. Humans increasingly depend on AI and digital tools to augment their cognitive abilities, effectively blending human and machine functions. By using AI for tasks like navigation, e.g. GPS, information retrieval, e.g. search engines, and decision-making, e.g. recommendation algorithms, our cognitive processes are extended into the digital realm. As AI becomes integral to our cognitive processes, it prompts us to rethink what it means to be human. Matthew's study contributes to this by offering key concepts such as hermeneutic and embodiment to attribute Haraway's cyborg, and alterity relations to interpret AI interactions. Hermeneutic relations refer to the interpretive role that technology plays in mediating human understanding of the world. Haraway's cyborg can be seen as embodying hermeneutic relations in the sense that it challenges and redefines how we understand the boundaries between humans and machines. For instance, wearable health devices provide users with data about their bodily functions, thereby transforming their self-understanding and behavior. Embodiment relations describe how technologies are incorporated into our bodily experiences, becoming extensions of our bodies and altering our interactions with the world. Examples include prosthetics, implants, and wearable technologies do not merely assist the human body, but transform it, creating a hybrid entity that exemplifies the cyborg ideal. Alterity relations involve interactions with technologies as others, recognizing them as entities with which we can engage and communicate. This concept is particularly relevant in the context of AI and autonomous systems. In Haraway's framework, the cyborg also engages with technology as an other. AI systems, for instance, are perceived as autonomous agents that interact with humans in complex ways. These interactions go beyond mere tool use and involve a form of partnership or collaboration, which can be seen in various AI applications such as virtual assistants, robots, and smart systems. Alterity relations thus provide a way to understand how humans and AI systems co-evolve and co-construct each other's identities and capabilities. This part of the video belongs to the research project called Me, Myself, and AI. The main idea of the research project is to focus on digital identity. They believe that the digital space provides endless possibilities for self-expression and personal development. The project aims to bridge the gap between the virtual and real worlds. Participants will embody their avatars using a tracking suite, essentially donning a customized virtual skin. I contributed to the research phase by supplying AI-generated text and visuals representing my avatar digital self that is rigged and brought to life by performers in the virtual space, forming the basis for the video project. Here's my avatar on the screen. Haraway's exploration of cyborgs highlights the fusion of organic and artificial components, a concept that resonates deeply with the integration of digital tools in art and virtual museums. Artists use tools such as graphic design software, 3D modeling programs, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence to create works that would be impossible with traditional methods alone. This fusion of the organic, the human artist, and the artificial, digital tools, produces a new kind of artistic output that embodies the cyborg concept. Moreover, digital tools enable new forms of interaction and relationality within art. Interactive installations and virtual reality experiences allow viewers to engage with art in immersive, participatory ways. These experiences often rely on real-time data processing and responsive systems, further integrating the organic and artificial. The art evolves based on the viewer's actions, creating a dynamic relationship between the human participant and the technological framework. Virtual museums blend physical and digital experiences, creating hybrid spaces challenging traditional notions of museum artifacts, fostering immersive environments that reflect the hybrid identities of contemporary digital interactions. Here is a part of a documentation of OSIS VR experience I made for Sonar Festival 2023 with Toprak Farhat. The artwork is designed to be an anti-experience as it does challenges the audience rather than inviting. It is developed as a critique of the relationship between advertising and user experience in Web 2. It is introduced as a nature and meditation simulation that the participant must follow some mindfulness tasks for relaxation, but in fact decorated with excessive advertisement pop-ups that challenge users' habits on virtual space. The artwork allowed me to observe the tendencies of users in virtual space, the cognitive capabilities that users augment in the digital realm, and understand the dynamic relationship between the human participant and the technological framework. Haraway's ideas also resonate in the context of ownership and authorship in digital art. The traditional notion of the artist as the sole creator is challenged by the collaborative nature of digital tools, which can involve teams of programmers, designers, and even algorithms as co-creators. This collective creation process reflects the dispersed networks and relationality Haraway describes, moving away from the fixed dualism of human versus machine. We have previously highlighted how digital tools are catalyzing a profound transformation in contemporary art production, redefining the roles of the artist, ownership, and creativity, thereby underscoring the enhanced agency of objects. The notion of creativity is particularly intriguing, as it traditionally represents a distinctly human attribute. The attribution of such a human-like agency to objects evokes the concept of machines acquiring a form of liveliness, reminiscent of Haraway's insights on the cyborg. Our machines are disturbingly lively, and we ourselves frighteningly inert. Here the word inert, referring to the passiveness of humans, caught my attention since it connotated dependence that Ian Hodder mentions while defining entanglements, which I wanted to touch on. In light of this framework, the ever-growing complexity of interdependencies between humans and digital objects becomes more apparent with each passing day. Humans increasingly rely on digital tools and AI for various tasks, from daily activities to complex decision-making processes, while tools constantly evolve based on human needs and behaviors. For instance, machine learning algorithms improve as they process more data generated by human actions, creating a feedback loop where human behavior shapes AI development, which in turn influences human behavior. This can be supported by Carroll's definition of adaptive systems. The evolution is not linear, but iterative, with continuous feedback loops where human actions influence AI development and AI advancements, in turn, influence human behavior and societal norms. The use of 3D modeling and printing transforms physical artifacts into digital formats and vice versa. This interplay between material and digital realms creates new layers of entanglement, as digital replicas can influence the study and perception of historical objects. The vast amounts of data generated and used by digital tools and AI raise questions about privacy, ownership, and control. These issues reflect the ethical dimensions of entanglement, as human lives become increasingly intertwined with digital infrastructures. Relying on AI for tasks such as navigation, information retrieval, and decision-making can lead to changes in human cognitive processes. This shift illustrates how digital tools become entangled with our cognitive functions. The presence of AI in social media, advertising, and other areas influences human behavior and social dynamics. This influence is a form of entanglement, where AI shapes and is shaped by human actions and societal norms. Also, the symbiotic relationship between human cognition and artificial intelligence systems shows that traditional dichotomies between human and machine intelligence are increasingly blurred in contemporary socio-technical systems, as Noel Carroll mentions. Carroll's analysis contributes to our understanding of human-object relationships in digital contexts by highlighting the distributed agency and co-evolutionary dynamics inherent in augmented intelligence systems, which can be related to Hodder's entanglement in terms of AI tools. When considering the domain of artistic production and museums, we may discern that the artist's creative output and museum experience are also codependent on technology. Increasing use of digital tools such as graphic tablets, Adobe software, AI generation, data processing, and 3D modeling programs became an integral part of the creative process, influencing the style, technique, and outcome of the artwork. Artists learn and adapt to new technologies, which shapes their skill sets and artistic expressions. Digital tools enable the creation of art forms that were previously impossible, such as interactive installations, generative art, and virtual reality experiences, which is enabling. These new forms of art illustrate how technology influences artistic practice, creating new possibilities and challenging traditional notions of art. On the other hand, these tools can dominate the artistic process and limit it with their tendencies and capabilities. For instance, AI-generated art shifts artists' creative roles and may perpetuate stereotypes or inequalities based on biases of datasets that algorithms are trained on, or can be influenced by cultural preferences and artistic trends. For example, my recent work, Centimap, shown at the Timeless Curiosities exhibition at Istanbul Modern, emerged thanks to the ability to process 54 years of newspaper data from Istanbul in just 5 months with the help of AI. Especially in art projects that handle large-scale data, the temporal impossibility of processing data manually without using AI or machine learning demonstrates the enabling of the objects. Timeless Curiosities exhibition focuses on how contemporary technologies and digital culture have shaped artistic production. Centimap is a temporal and spatial mapping generated by an artificial intelligence model to assign sentiments to archived newspaper articles and localize emotions by searching for keywords in a database from Istanbul, spanning from 1970 to the present. It seeks to narrate the emotional fluctuations of Istanbul through the aesthetic forms of the data. The work presents the process holistically to the viewer through video, while also providing periodic and spatial infographics on emotional intensities, encouraging visitors to explore and engage with the data. Alongside the enabling side of the digital tools I used, which allowed me to detect emotion with language models and process vast dataset, there were also limitations of the tools, which demonstrates the entanglement. There was a bias I noticed during the process that is arised from the algorithm. I used LLM, large language models, as in Meta, Facebook, and ChatGPT, to assign sentiments to news articles. Even though the model can understand and produce the Turkish language, it does not provide cultural relativism, but has Western-centric approaches. This would lead to some cultural biases while assigning emotions, such as a type of news can have negative connotations in one culture due to its history, but not in another. If we move to virtual museums, they provide new ways to curate, display, and interact with art. The digital environment allows for innovative exhibition designs, interactive elements, and global accessibility. Furthermore, digital art and virtual museums play a crucial role in preserving cultural heritage and making it accessible to a broader audience. The digital medium becomes intertwined with the physical artifacts, ensuring their longevity and expanding their reach. Physical artworks are often digitized for virtual exhibitions, creating a digital counterpart that can be viewed and interacted with online. This process involves complex entanglements between the material, original artwork, and the digital, virtual representation, affecting how the art is perceived and experienced. AR and VR technologies in art production and virtual museums create new layers of interaction between the physical and digital realms. The process is both enabled and limited by technology, and intertwined with physical surroundings and sensory experiences. Embodied interaction. In VR experiences, users navigate and interact with virtual environments using their physical bodies, while AR overlays digital information onto physical objects or spaces. These embodied interactions reinforce the entanglement between human actions and digital interfaces, shaping how users perceive and interact with art and museum exhibits. For example, I had a great chance to observe as the curator firsthand how visitors engage with virtual environments, interactive artworks, and physical artifacts augmented with smart technologies in the exhibition. Ortak Mekik, weaving, natural dyeing, and interactive technologies. That has emerged through the collaboration of Karma Lab and Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University. The main theme was the cooperation of the traditional art of weaving and interactive technologies. Almost every artwork in the exhibition was either in virtual reality, enhanced with machine learning, or interactive with sensors and motion tracks. Besides my observation of novel ways of interaction of the audience with the artworks, which was apparent due to the time the viewer spent on, compared to conventional ones, I deeply understand the maintenance of these displays is significantly harder than the traditional ones due to their delicate technological nature, which showed the dependence of these objects on humans. My inference, further aligned with my later conversations with several museum curators, mentioned reluctance of museums on showcasing interactive artworks. Moreover, virtual museums can democratize access to art by reaching audiences who might not have the means to visit physical museums. This potential for inclusivity highlights the entanglement of social values with technological capabilities, shaping the future of cultural engagement. Features like virtual tours, interactive exhibits, and online discussions create a dynamic relationship between the artwork and the viewer, demonstrating entanglement through enhanced participation. Collaborative development. The design and implementation of AR and VR experiences involve collaboration between artists, programmers, designers, and curators. These interdisciplinary teams co-create immersive environments that blend digital content with physical spaces, showcasing how different expertise areas become entangled in the production process. Here is an example of collaborative work of a VR experience and design artifact called Square, which I was involved as a designer and worked with other designers, developers, and engineers. The project was also allowing further collaborations through its virtual and interactive platform. Square is a digital twin of Koch University where students can freely display their art and design projects. It allows displaying multiple forms of art such as visual, video, audio, 3D, as well as mixed formats. It can also become a place where prototypes of design products can be displayed, even interactively. Moving on from the acceptance of that human existence and social life depend on material things and are entangled with them. Our relations with things are often asymmetrical, leading to entrapments in particular pathways from which it is difficult to escape. With the rise of AI and digitalization, the asymmetry in our relations with things may become even more pronounced in certain contexts. In modern society, humans increasingly depend on digital tools and smart objects for various aspects of daily life, from communication to productivity to entertainment, where the tools have significant influence over human behavior and decision-making. The asymmetry in our relations with things often arises from power differentials. In terms of power dynamics, smart objects equipped with sensors, connectivity, and artificial intelligence often have agency in their interactions with humans. They can collect data, make decisions, and adapt their behavior based on user input or environmental conditions. For example, consider algorithms that govern social media feeds or recommendation systems. These AI-driven technologies can shape our access to information, influence our opinions, and reinforce existing biases or preferences, creating entrapments in particular informational or ideological pathways. The development and adoption of digital tools and smart objects create path dependencies, where certain technologies become deeply embedded in societal structures and practices. Once established, these pathways can be difficult to escape or change, reinforcing the entanglement between humans and technology. Certainly, there is a double bind humans caught with AI tools since require human input and interaction for their existence, but the balance is shifting toward AI over time. Moreover, the asymmetry in our relations with AI extends beyond individual interactions to broader societal dynamics. Issues such as algorithmic bias, unequal access to AI technologies, and concerns about AI-driven automation affecting employment opportunities can exacerbate existing inequalities and power imbalances. In terms of artistic creation, this asymmetry may reveal itself with increasing reliance on the capabilities of the tools, which are constantly being enhanced with machine learning. The favoritism towards specific artistic styles, techniques, or cultural norms over others resulting from the application of digital art tools and AI algorithms perpetuated biases present in the algorithms, leading to unequal representation or reinforcement of stereotypes. Moreover, the double bind of AI-generated art manifests itself by raising questions about the authorship, whether the source of production is the visuals that the algorithms feed on, the developers of the algorithms, or the artists writing the prompts and the biases of algorithms, preserved stereotypes, inequalities, and discrimination. For instance, most text-to-image AI tools maintain gender stereotypes, lack of diversity in terms of racial or ethnic representation as in recent past mainstream media. The design and implementation of virtual museums also may privilege certain narratives, perspectives, or artifacts over others, influencing how visitors engage with the exhibits. This asymmetry in representation can lead to entrapments in particular pathways of interpretation, where visitors are guided or constrained by the curated digital content. Virtual museums often incorporate interactive elements and immersive experiences facilitated by digital art tools and AI technologies. These features guide visitors along predetermined pathways of exploration, shaping their engagement with the exhibits and reinforcing entrapments within particular narrative frameworks. Optional. The development and maintenance of virtual museums require significant investments in digital infrastructure, including hardware, software, and network connectivity. Once established, these technological pathways can shape the evolution of virtual museums and constrain future development options, reflecting a form of entrapment within particular technological trajectories. The asymmetry also addresses the care and affordances of new digital objects. Surely digital objects require ongoing maintenance to ensure their accessibility over time, but they are steadily evolving to become more proficient, thanks to advancements in machine learning systems. These enhancements not only prolong their lifespan, but also bolster their ability to function autonomously. In essence, they are gradually becoming self-sustaining entities capable of managing themselves to a greater extent. Interestingly, as digital objects become less reliant on human intervention, our dependence on them paradoxically intensifies. This symbiotic relationship underscores a shift in the dynamics of dependence, which results in decreased human labor and job displacements. As job displacements become more prevalent, there may be increased calls for implementing UBI, universal basic income, or similar social welfare programs. UBI is no longer a far-fetched idea with the proliferation of artificial intelligence and the increasing asymmetry it brings along with its socio-economic consequences. This could potentially lead to a reduction in consumption-driven lifestyles, as individuals may choose to work less, or pursue activities that do not rely on excessive resource consumption. Such shifts in work patterns support the degrowth movement's goal of prioritizing sustainability and human well-being over perpetual economic growth. Degrowth aims to reframe and recreate economies that respect Earth's limits in order to achieve socio-political equity and ecological sustainability. Thereby, objects technologies being actants precipitates profound social and economic transformations. AI, degrowth, Anthropocene, or sustainability are not just buzzwords, they are actants whether they're technology or idea. Besides their current influences on our philosophy and lifestyle, they promise shrewd speculations about the future. Perhaps things themselves save themselves from human-centric perspectives. Finally, here's an example of these actants shaping artistic production rather conceptually and resonating back and forth within the art. This piece belongs to Museum of Binary, a speculative fiction text and mixed media I produced as a contributor artist for A Utopia a Month publication by Wilhelm Schirable Jr., GAT.st, Austria. The artwork deals with remains of the past and the future, in the context of museum experience which takes place in an epoch where the nebulous border of virtual and material stands on the cusp of an imminent juncture. By situating human-object relations within techno-cultural contexts and acknowledging the entanglements between technology, we can have a deeper understanding of the multifaceted dynamics shaping contemporary landscapes, particularly concerning virtual museums and digital artworks that are more interactive, relational, and reflective of technological advancements and cultural shifts.
Thank you.